Good morning, all of you. Myself, Daraksha Ansari. I would like to begin this session with very warm greetings and welcome all the participants to the online training session on UV visible spectrophotometer. In order to have a comprehensive detail of UV visible spectrophotometer, the content of the session has been divided into four subtopics: principle, instrumentation, working and application of UV visible spectrophotometer. Now let's have a glimpse of the principle. Since the instrument involves the term spectroscopy, so first we will discuss it. Basically, spectroscopy is related to the interaction of light with matter, or we can say it involves the different phenomenon which occurs when the light of a particular wavelength falls on the solution of an analyte under analysis. When UV visible radiations are absorbed by the matter, the result is an increase in the energy content of the atoms or molecules, that is, the excitation of the electrons from the ground state towards a higher energy state occurs. Since the absorption of UV visible radiation by a chemical compound is its characteristic property, so it will produce a distinct spectrum which aids in the identification of the compound. Thus, these techniques serve as a identification tool, or it helps in the qualitative analysis. Instrumentation. The basic components of UV visible spectrophotometer includes light source, monochromator, sample holder, detector and the readout system. All these components will be discussed in detail while going through the working of the instrument. Now we are going to discuss the working of the instrument in detail. At the beginning we have source of radiation. Since UV visible spectrophotometer is a double beam spectrophotometer, so there are two sources of light. One is the deuterium lamp, which provides the light in the ultraviolet region, and another one is the tungsten lamp, which provides the light in the visible region. After the light source, there is a collimating convex lens. The function of collimating convex lens is to collect all rays coming from the light source and pass them to the monochromator through diaphragm. After that, there is a diaphragm. It is used to set 100% transmittance. Then there is a monochromator. Monochromator is used to obtain the radiation of one wavelength. The monochromators may be a prism or diffraction grating. The instrument whose demonstration will be shown in today's session is a JASCO V630 spectrophotometer, which is provided with concave grating functioning as monochromator. After the monochromator, there are two plane mirrors which are placed. These plane mirrors are used to change the direction of the light. After mirrors, there are two cuvettes, one for the sample and one for the blank solution. And finally, there are two photocells or detectors placed. One is connected to the cuvette which is containing the sample solution, and another one is connected to the cuvette which is containing the blank solution or solvent. And ultimately, these photocells or detectors are connected to the computer or the readout system so that we can get the signal. Now let's actually visualize the working of UV visible spectrophotometer through animation for better understanding. First of all, the light from two sources of radiation, that is deuterium lamp and tungsten lamp, is collected by the collimating lens and allowed to fall on monochromator. For each radiation incident on monochromator, we are getting radiation of one single wavelength, that is 1 lambda. The monochromatic light is then separated into two beams with the help of mirrors. One beam is passed through one cuvette containing the blank solution, whereas the another beam is passed through the cuvette containing the sample solution. The beams from the two cuvettes are finally incident on the detector. The detector produces a signal depending upon the intensity of the beam reaching it and displayed on the readout unit. Finally, we get a resultant spectrum of absorbance versus wavelength. UV visible spectrophotometer has got different applications such as determination of impurities, structure elucidation, in combination with some other techniques, quantitative determination of compounds that absorb UV visible radiation. It also acts as a detector for HPLC. These are the few prominent applications of this instrument which are listed here apart from others. Now the question arises, in the modern era of highly advanced techniques, do we need to go for the basic analysis like UV spectroscopy? So the answer would be, as we can't go for words and sentences without knowing the letters, similarly, it is always better to go for basic characterization techniques as it gives the basic information of the sample under analysis before going for highly expensive characterization techniques. UV visible spectroscopy technique or spectrophotometer in combination with other techniques is always reliable and useful for the confirmation of different research results. Let's have a hand-on demonstration of the UV spectrophotometer. At our department, we have been installed JESCO V630 spectrophotometer. These model number V630, V650, V650 have been provided by the company depending upon the dedicated functionality of these instruments towards the life sciences, and some instruments have got the spatial stray light elimination. So these model numbers have been assigned depending upon their different features. At our department, we have got this V630 spectrophotometer, which is used for the general analysis of all types of sample. This JESCO V630 spectrophotometer has got 5 basic components. First one is the light source, which is placed toward the left hand side of the instrument. In this case, light source is, since it is a double beam spectrophotometer, so there are 2 light sources. First one is the deuterium lamp, which provides the light in the ultraviolet region, that is 200 to 400 nanometer. Another one is the tungsten lamp, which provides the light in the 400 to 800 region, that is the visible region. After the light source, we have got the monochromator. Monochromator in this instrument is the grating which is functioning or which is playing the role of selecting a particular wavelength. Next component here is the sample holder. Since it is a multi-component sample holder, so we can simultaneously go for the determination of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or the analysis of 5 to 6 sample at one go. This is the sample holder which is positioned here for the blank solution. We can keep our desired solution at any one of these sample holders, or simultaneous determination can also, or simultaneous analysis can also be done. After the sample holder, detector is placed inside the interior of this instrument. Detector here is a silicon photodiode, and the display unit function is being served by this monitor or the display unit through this software Spectra Manager. This unit is the backup for the instrument, and this external unit which has been attached to the instrument is the temperature control unit, which provide a range of temperature from 10 to 70 degrees Celsius. That is, the analysis of the desired sample can be done from 10 degree to 70 degree. Since it is a double beam spectrophotometer, so now I am going to insert the blank in both the position, like this is the already for the blank solution, and here also, because I am going to take the analysis with respect to the 6th sample container, so I am inserting this in the 6th. Now the care should be taken that the clouded side or the opaque side should not face the light, since it is going to ultimately affect the analysis. So care should be taken that transparent side should face the light. After placing the blank or solvent inside the instrument, now we are going to command the instrument for various operations through the software Spectra Manager. So double click on the icon of Spectra Manager, this window will appear. Now we need to wait for few seconds till the instrument is initializing and become idle. Further, we will go to the spectra management, then to measure parameters and set the parameters such as photometric mode, scan speed, data interval, number of cycle. Since all the information has already feeded, now I am going to press the OK. As we are doing this analysis with respect to the blank solution, so I'll press the B at the window. After this, we need to specify cell or sample holder as it has multiple cells. Since we'll be using cell number 6, I have specified here cell number 6. Then measure need to be clicked. Now scanning will start for blank. Now we are done with this blank. Now we are going to run for the sample. So this is the sample. Now I am inserting the sample in the 6th sample container. Now we are going to run the analysis for sample by replacing the blank in cell number 6 by desired solution of the analyte. For the analysis of sample, we are going to click on S at the preface. As S will be clicked, the instrument will start scanning for sample. We can see the appearance of spectra, and this is the spectra of the sample. In order to acquire more information about the sample, we will go to File, then Send to Analysis. After this, a new window will appear. Here we can save the spectra with appropriate name, and processing of peak such as smoothing can be done. Other information such as peak height, FWHM, absorbance, lambda max can be obtained under this option. So our sample has got lambda max around 460 nanometer and is showing absorbance around 0.222. Since this spectra will be saved in such a format that it will open only through this software, so we need to export the spectra and select required format such as CSV and ASCII format for studying it at other PC or software. For understanding the feature of overlay, that is having different spectra within same axis, 4 different concentration of the same sample have been prepared and the analysis is done. This overlaying of spectra is a convenient way of studying the sample in a comparative way by varying any one parameter of interest such as concentration while keeping other parameters constant. Here I have varied the concentration of the sample by 2-fold in each of the 4 cases and obtained their spectra. After overlaying these spectra, we can say that absorbance is decreasing with decrease in concentration of the sample solution or with increase in dilution. This result is in concurrence with the Lambert-Beer's law, which says that absorbance is directly proportional to the concentration of the solution of the sample if other parameters are kept constant. Apart from the qualitative aspects discussed so far, now let's discuss the quantitative application of spectrophotometer. From this overlay plot, we can conclude that the absorption of the analyte is directly proportional to the concentration of the analyte. This forms the basis of quantitative estimation through spectrophotometer. The method is known as the standard or calibration curve method. In this method, the instrument response, that is absorbance versus concentration of the standard, is plotted. Further, the response given by the instrument for unknown is extrapolated on the x-axis, whereby the concentration of the unknown is obtained. So this was a bit information about the quantitative estimation. Now I would like to conclude this session by expressing my immense gratitude towards all the patient listeners. Thank you.